Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dion's Daily Dose. It has been a long, but ultimately very enjoyable day. I had a great day. I'm going to show you guys the doggies. It was so cute. So they do an annual, it's like a little dog show, right? At Luhr Park. And this right here was the winner of the King category. His name is Todd. He's a senior. He's really cute. Senior dog. Uh, this was the winner of the Queen category. And this is Mum. She is available for adoption. You can't really see it, but she has a lot of scars up around her face. And apparently she was left at the animal shelter tied to the fence with an electrical cord. Not cool. Not cool. There are tons of other pictures that I will show you guys in a little bit. Before we get to that, I do want to talk about this RFK Trump thing. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but different networks provided different levels of coverage of his speech. CNN and MSNBC, as soon as he started talking about the negatives of today's Democrat Party, they cut away, talked over him, etc. If you have watched this on those networks, I urge you, go and watch the entirety of his speech. Now, some points have been brought up about RFK's previous comments and answers on social media to Trump. Remember, at the time, they were opposed, right? They were running against each other, essentially. And, people change their mind all the time. I am married. My wife changes her mind multiple times, generally on a daily basis. That said, yeah, there's some degree of truth to, I think RFK said something about Trump's social media stuff, Ultimately, though, the words of his speech, I think, should be really examined by all Americans. What did he say? Well, he said that we have a chronic health problem in this country, and we do. Our health care system is the most expensive in the world. We pay more than anyone else out there. And yet, we are among the sickest. Why is that? Oh, I'm sure it's incidental, right? It's accidental. It's pure coincidence. I'm hoping that RFK and Trump together can do something about this. Ultimately, that's really our only option. All right, so the headliner, right? My wife and I had a really good discussion, I believe, about a subject that I'm just going to say it. Maybe I'm a little biased, but paternity, right? Mandatory paternity testing. Now, there was a bill that was introduced a few years back in Tennessee. And what it would do is it would make basically all babies, when they're born, they would do genetic testing on, right, to determine paternity. And at first, my wife was vehemently opposed to it. And I was, I think that'd be a good idea. Through the discussion, several things were brought up. Now, here's why I'm going to tell you why I believe that this would be a positive thing and we should do this in all 50 states. Well, why is that, right? First of all, if we make it mandatory, it removes the need for a man to explain to a woman why they would like the baby tested for paternity. Number two, it eliminates the arguments, mistrust, and issues that come about when a man even brings up something like this. Now, she did say something that I found interesting and I latched on to. She's like, well, I don't understand. I said, that's exactly it. You don't understand. A woman can never can never be concerned about the paternity, or I should say maternity, of their child because they're giving birth to it. Obviously, that child is theirs. Did you know the current going figure, right, for men who get genetic testing done, what percentage of men do you think find out that the child is actually not theirs? They're raising a child, they have a paternity test, and they discover that the child's not theirs. What do you think? I'll give you guys a second. Put in your best guess. Don't Google it. Put in your best guess. Write it down. Put it in the comments, whatever. Because it is a whopping 30%. 30%, 3 out of 10 men who have a child, you're not the father. Sorry, it's just the way it is. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 fathers are raising a child that's not theirs, and they have no idea. All right, so let's go back to the why should there be mandatory paternity testing. So first of all, anytime a man tries to tell a woman, hey, I would like my baby tested, right? I would like to be sure, because a man, no matter, it doesn't matter how much you trust a woman. It doesn't matter how unlikely it is that she could have done anything. You can never be rock solid, right? You can never have 100% confidence, at least not at birth, right? Maybe later on when the child looks like you, like I have a child who looks exactly like I did when I was a kid. Okay. I mean, no real need to take the Pepsi challenge on that one. But when a baby's born, you can project any kind of features you want on them. Oh, they have my eyes. Oh, they have my nose. Ultimately, a baby's a baby, and their features are very malleable, and they change greatly over the years. A man will never be 100% sure. A woman always will be 100% sure that, it's their child. They can't possibly understand. Also, we've seen how many cases of women that take men to court for child support only to find out it's not their child, right? So I don't know if you guys watch, I don't really watch it much, like divorce court and I think there's like a paternity court now and all these court shows on TV. If you look at just look up a few clips, there are countless instances of men who believed that their wife, girlfriend, whomever, mother of their child, what they think is their child, was faithful. And of course, the woman they always say the same thing. I'm 100% sure. I'm 1,000% sure. What's the chance it's anybody else? 0%. There's no way. It's always the same. And inevitably, boom, you, Bubba, are not the father, right? So how do you approach this? How do you tell you? Because look, just mentioning to your wife, girlfriend, whomever, I think it'd be good to get the baby tested just so I can be, I can have peace of mind. Well, you don't trust me. You think I'm a whore. This, that, the other, right? This would eliminate all of that. All of it. Women, of course, are opposed to it. I think men in general are in favor of it. And so the wife also brought up a point. Well, there should be a way, like, what about the fathers who are 100% sure and don't want testing? I don't even think that should be offered because, like, you can opt out, right? The opt out. I don't think that should be offered. I think it should be mandatory, no exceptions. Why? And by the way, I am 100% a privacy aficionado, right? Hardcore privacy. There would not be a database. It would be an individual test done to match, and then the records are destroyed. I think personally, that would be the ideal situation. So back to the opt-out, right? Why no opt-out? Because every single man who is on the hook will be expected to opt out. And if you don't, then you don't trust her. right? If you offer the option to opt out, every woman will demand that their man opt out. I mean, think about it. And if you don't opt out, you don't trust me, you think I'm a whore, blah, 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 blah. That's just the way that it is. And now, one interesting thing that they did do, however, in Tennessee, this bill languished. It's been brought up several times. It's died. The bill that I was referring to, I don't have the numbers or anything, but you can look it up. Mandatory paternity testing, Tennessee. So one bill that did make it, though, is if you lie to a man and tell him that he's the father, and then there is genetic testing done, and it's discovered that he is actually not the father, and they can show that you are, I'm trying to think of how to word it. Basically, if the woman set about doing this in order to lie / get paternity, whatever, then they're charged criminally. Yeah, I know. Jack says government won't destroy records. They will hold for child to be older and use in a national DNA database search. Unfortunately, that's the case. And that's why it will need tweaking, right? Just throwing it out there. It's not like it's a perfect solution. I am not in favor of government databases. The government can kiss my lily white. However, I think that this is such an issue that we really need to figure out a solution. 30%, man. That is such a huge, huge number of men that are raising a child that's probably not their own. I mean, that's unfortunate. So I want to show you guys, we're going to kind of derail this. Let me know what you think. Do you think that mandatory genetic testing should be a thing? Do you believe that the current system that we have is okay? Or do you think that the entire system should be scrapped and we should just believe all women because they never lie and they never, try to do anything, right? That for their personal gain. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Let me show you guys some more of the cute doggies though. So this again is Mum. She is available for adoption at the Jane Bernard shelter in LaPorte. And she is so, so cute. She's so docile, right? She was just sitting there, standing there, allowing people to put the crown and the, what do you call it? A cape? I don't know. But the everything on her and just so super chill. The wife and I think she would be like a perfect little companion for a child with a good imagination, right? Either playing dress up or tea time or something like that. I mean, I don't hate the idea, right? But let me show you some more of the other ones. So last year's winner was Luca, and her ladies in waiting made an adorable trio. There's the judges. That's me on the left. And then I'm not sure who the lady on the right is, but we were the judges. Look at, I don't remember all of the doggies' names, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But these, so cute. This one's also available for adoption. There are a number. Let's see if I can find. A little collie. Look how cute. Oh my goodness. This one was uber cute. That one can stand on its hind legs for a remarkably long amount of time. Look at the puppies. This one, oh my goodness, he's so cute. He's got a big fat head. The wife almost came home with this little fella here. I believe, this was Todd. Another picture of Todd. This was the winner of the King competition. Whoops. I'm not sure why that did that, but give me a second so I can get back to it. There we go. That was weird. I'm sure I didn't click outside the box, but maybe I did. Let's see. Let's get back to where we were. There we go. This was the beautiful color, and the light coming off of the coat was just incredible. And this one has the two different colored eyes. That is called heterochromia, I believe. That's where the eyes are two different colors. That's what it does. Okay, I figured out why it's doing it. All right, well, let's go back to. All right, let's see here. Yep. All right. So I guess I'm just clumsy today because that's what we're having. But look at the big, beautiful puppies. They were just adorable. Now I want to make sure I highlight all of them because they were incredible. They really were. I don't know why that's doing that. It's really getting on my nerves, but I think we're just about done. Yeah, because we got a few more pictures, but here, this, by the way, this is Luca, last year's winner. Yay. Luca's gorgeous. So yeah, what do you guys think about just making paternity testing mandatory on birth? We'll have to figure out a way to make sure that the records aren't saved because the government doesn't need my DNA. That's just all there is to it. They have no reason to have it. Don't want it. Let me know what you guys think. Can you come up with a way that we can ensure? Because if you look at what they're doing with, for example, the records of firearms purchases, we know the ATF keeps track of that. They don't discard it like they're supposed to. They've admitted it in court. Speaking of, have you guys seen the case about the National Firearms Act, the NFA, right? That's the thing that made machine guns illegal. Well, there was a very interesting case where the judge ruled that in this particular case, with this particular defendant, the NFA was unconstitutional. Now, this opens the door for other defendants to use that defense. And it also opens the door, if you have the money, I highly recommend that you get a lawsuit started in order to get rid of the NFA entirely, because that is an excellent foundation for removal. Anything that points to unconstitutionality of anything, the Constitution trumps it, the law is out. So it will be interesting to see whether anyone takes the challenge and decides to pursue some more vigorous, legal action against this particular subject. I don't know, guys. It's going to be interesting. What do you think, kind of to bounce back here? What do you guys think about this RFK switch? They were showing the numbers, right? And the numbers are very, very interesting. Allegedly, it's basically split down the middle, and there's minuscule points in the battleground states between, Hyena and Trump. So if that's the case, I'm not saying it is, because we know how accurate polling is. Remember 2016, 95% Hillary, 90% Hillary. We know how accurate these polls are. However, if these polls are accurate, and if the 4 to 5% that RFK Jr. currently holds, if he can shift even half of his voter base to the Trump campaign, that makes a Harris victory extremely unlikely. The betting odds have skyrocketed for Trump. And again, we'll see. With all that said, I hope you guys had a great day. I'm going to try to have some interesting content coming up for you. I have a recent addition to the team, someone who's going to be doing some video editing for me. We've got some kinks to work out, and I got to kind of, break them in slowly, show them what's up and how we're going to do this. All that said, I'm really excited for the future of the channel, and I'm really excited for the future of the viewers, man. You guys are awesome. You make me want to do this. There have been many times in the last few days, man, I've just had so much going on. Apologize for not throwing up more videos or giving you guys more stuff to watch / listen to / do. However, I have a clear path forward, and I think you'll be very, very happy with what we're able to come up with. As you guys know, we're only let's see here. So we are, I want to look at the calendar so that I can give you guys a very accurate, let's see here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9, just over 9 weeks, 9.5 weeks until the election. Locally, we have a couple of people on the ballot that I'm really, really excited about. But in general, it was a very disappointing primary. I think that the people of LaPorte County, etc., this area could have been very much better served by other people winning, but they didn't. So moving forward, we're going to start looking at candidates from both parties, all available candidates for each position, and really digging in, seeing what they're about, and deciding, the lesser of two evils, such as it is. And we'll let you guys know what we come up with. So let's see what we got here. Nepo, how you doing, man? Good to see you. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm curious as to how it's going to go between now and then. I do foresee that we're going to have lots of interesting revelations between now and then. Oh, also, while I'm thinking about it, so apparently, remember how I told you guys that if you saw the House hearing on UFOs, Sean and I were going to dig in to find the Senate version of it. Interestingly enough, there doesn't seem to be one. Everything that happened there seemed to have died right there. As far as we know, there were no further follow-ups, no SCIF consultations or briefings or any of that stuff. The individual who on more than one occasion told us during that trial that there were some very, very interesting revelations that he could give. Unfortunately, he could not do it in an open forum. He had to go into a SCIF or a more classified briefing type of setting. My understanding is they were trying to set that up. As we discovered also during that briefing, that Congress and the president are not in charge of this country at all. The intel agencies are. The national security apparatus controls stuff. Members of Congress were turned away from locations that they should have had unrestricted access to. Why? Because the intel agencies said so. Now, it doesn't matter your party. Anytime we have unelected bureaucrats making decisions that affect the country, especially to the level that they are, they don't answer to the people at all. They answer to who? Not us. They answer to whoever their boss is. And their boss, since it's not an elected official, there's nothing we the people can do about that. At least quietly, right? You're not going to fix it at the voting booth. Let's put it that way. That's just all there is to it. And again, regardless of your party, I don't like the idea of the CIA, FBI, NSA three-letter agency hell having a degree of control over this country beyond the three branches of government. It's not the way it should be, ladies and gentlemen, not at all. This is not the country that my grandfather fought for and his grandfather before him. And this is why it's so frustrating to see people being taken in by the lies of the left. There's, let me find it. I think it's in Oregon. They are giving illegal immigrants $30,000 to put down on a home. This program is not available if you're a United States citizen. Let's see. I think it's Oregon. Let's see here. Yeah. So here it is. Let me show you guys real quick. All right. So on Daily Mail, the Western state where migrants get $30,000 homebuyer grants, but citizens are excluded. A Latino-led housing support group gives $30,000 grants to migrant buyers, but the scheme is, quote, only for people who are not American citizens. And California opens a $300 million home loan scheme to migrants, illegals. Oregonians have reacted angrily to a taxpayer-funded scheme that doles out $30,000 for illegal immigrants to buy homes, but excludes U.S. citizens. Hacienda Community Development Corporation, a Latino-led group in Portland, says in a promotion that it will give first-time home buyers up to $30,000 to get on the property ladder. But there's a catch. The scheme is only for people who are not American citizens. It is instead open to refugees, asylum seekers, green card holders, and those who arrived in the U.S. illegally as children, the Post says. Now, in case you guys are not aware of this, right? Look at that. Only for people who are not American citizens. For example, I attend DACA, refugees, asylees, green card holders, amongst others, and must have pre-approval for a mortgage loan. Look, dude, like we could go on, but the insanity is there. You're more than welcome to dig into it on your own. Unreal. And one of the things that I have found is we need to address this because the Constitution specifically prohibits discrimination. You are not allowed to do things for one group that you don't do for others. The law is very clear on this. That's why here in Indiana, despite everyone, well, I won't say everyone, but the majority of people agreeing that, giving seniors a break on taxes would be great. Giving veterans a break on taxes would be great. But we can't. Why? Because the Constitution specifically prohibits laws that only influence one group of people, which is why technically I believe hate crime legislation wouldn't really hold up in a real court. Let's face it, our legal system is compromised. But it is what it is. So a special thank you to Dog Days at Luhr Park for hosting the Doggies today. It was really, really fun. And they had the hot dog vendor there, which was pretty yummy hot dogs, and a few other sponsors and tents. It was a good time. Unfortunately, I found out, it was still a great turnout. Don't get me wrong. The parking lot was packed. We almost could not find parking. And we got there right before it actually got started and into swinging. We almost did not find a parking spot. But that said, there was another event that was happening today. And I think that scheduling conflict might have had a few less people there than would normally have been there. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we're going to have a longer one tomorrow, and we'll have some more interesting stuff to talk about. I hope you have a great night. We'll see you again real soon. And as always, God bless you, God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. I hope you have a wonderful evening.